And welcome to another edition of Ducks No Sports. This week, I preview week 4 of the NFL. Already week 4 of the NFL. Very interesting season so far. With a little surprising teams and a little disappointing teams this year. Let's start with week 4, of course. That means the start of bye weeks. And bye weeks this week is the Arizona Cardinals, 3-0 Arizona Cardinals. Cincinnati Bengals, 3-0 Cincinnati Bengals. The 1-2 Cleveland Browns. The 2-1 Denver Broncos. The 2-1 Seattle Seahawks. And the 1-2 St. Louis Rams. But we'll start week 4 with the New Orleans Saints taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Should be an interesting matchup. Let's start with New Orleans here. The biggest question for New Orleans this week, can they get their stuff together? Very weird start for New Orleans this year. Of course, week 1 losing to Atlanta. Week 2 losing to Cleveland. And then bouncing back last week against the Minnesota Vikings. Finally getting their first win of the season. An interesting thing with New Orleans, they just haven't looked like New Orleans Saints this year. Drew Brees looks getting older. The offense isn't flowing as much as in the past, and this defense does not look that good. You saw week 1 when Matt Ryan just torched their defense the whole game, basically. And the thing with New Orleans, they are still a very good team. Can they still win the South? Of course, they can still win the South because of the shaky Atlanta team and up and down Atlanta team. And Carolina Panthers team looks pretty shaky themselves. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who might just be the worst team in the league, as they're showing last week. New Orleans Saints have looked shaky themselves. Can they turn around? I think they can. They do have Sean Payton. They still have Drew Brees. But they're not the same New Orleans Saints they have in the past. And I think New Orleans Saints will be interesting this week because they're playing a Dallas Cowboys team who is a very good, I wouldn't say a very good football team, an alright football team, because you really don't know with Dallas here. Are they a good team or a bad team? Of course, the Dallas Cowboys always look good at this time of the season, but when November and December kick in, that's when they start to look bad. Tony Romo, I'll admit, has looked decent the first couple weeks of the season. They're running the ball well, good with Murray. Their defense is definitely improved. The middle of the road team, I think the whole season, I don't think they are a playoff team whatsoever, but the Dallas Cowboys have looked better than I thought they would. But I think this week it's all about the New Orleans Saints. I think New Orleans Saints get it done. I think at home, New Orleans Saints put on a showing on prime time, and I think New Orleans Saints beat the Dallas Cowboys. Our next matchup, the New England Patriots taking on the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. We'll start with New England here. Man, New England has not looked good. Just like New Orleans Saints have not looked good this year. Tom Brady has not looked like Tom Brady. This offense has not looked like this offense. And their defense is kind of shaky at best. But hey, they're still 2-1. So, but they've had a few scares this year. You know, of course, losing week 1 to Miami. Of course, in a dogfight last week with the Oakland Raiders. But New England has not looked like New England. And to be honest with you, if you're the New York Jets or the Buffalo Bills, who have looked good this year, maybe this is a chance to strike, because New England Patriots have, like I said, have not looked well this year. Tom Brady, I don't know what's wrong with Tom Brady. It's just, it seems like maybe he's just lost a step. But New England Patriots not looked well, but they're playing a team, the Kansas City Chiefs, who I had big hopes for coming into the season. I really thought they would challenge the Denver Broncos in the West, but that certainly it isn't happening, because from top to bottom, they have injuries from top to bottom. Jamal Charles been injured and has not looked like the Jamal Charles he has in the past. And Kansas City Chiefs, this is a big week for Kansas City because they need to get a win. The Kansas City Chiefs need to get a win against New England Patriots to stay alive in the in the AFC West. And I just don't see it's happening with all the injuries just building up. They're just not the team they were last year. And I think the New England Patriots somehow find a way in Kansas City to put it all together, and like the New England Patriots to win big this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. The rest of the games this week, I like the Washington Redskins over the New York Giants. I like the Chicago Bears beat the Green Bay Packers. Houston over Buffalo. I like the Colts get their second win of the season. They beat the Tennessee Titans. Baltimore over Carolina. That was going to be a big game. I think Steve Smith is going to have one hell of a game against Carolina this year. So Baltimore over Carolina. Detroit over the New York Jets. Pittsburgh over Tampa Bay. Oakland over Miami. San Diego wins this week. San Francisco over Philly, and Atlanta Falcons over the Minnesota Vikings. Well, it should be an interesting week. Always should be interesting. And, of course, last week, pretty decent. I went 10-6 on my picks, bring up my total to 20-20. So, looking pretty good for my picks this year. And until next week, I'm Aaron Duxbury saying, I'm Dux, and I know sports. Kind of.